Substack Live. So we're just playing around and figuring this out. But so far, I give the experience a 10 out of 10. Yep. But I'm like loving the platform. So I just have to like feel like share now too. Oh, and Anilka's here. Hello. Nice to see you.
Thank you for joining in.
Yeah. All right. So we we kind of just like hopped on. We wanted to chat about some things, and we were talking about like what is going on. We were both saying how like I don't even know what to talk about because whenever it was days ago, weeks ago, when we were like, oh, we'll talk about this when we go live or do our next NPLN meeting or whatever. And that was already lifetimes ago. And that's where like, all right, let's talk about that. How like every moment of every day, it seems like we're on a different timeline, like so much is shifting and changing massively. And
it's insane.
Yeah. It's insane. It literally is insane. So what's been coming up for you so far?
Oh my God. So much stuff. I don't even know where to begin. So, I was on a call with a client today and we were starting with business coaching and she was like, business coaching. I go, I know, but we got to go over your offers and your pricing. And then I'm just like, cause she's going to be opening a membership and I'm just like, let's just channel. And we just went in and like a lot of what I've been doing has been like energetic structure within their businesses and clearing and figuring out like how to energetically structure containers, which is funny because you know how I feel about structure, but like that's been coming up a lot lately is the energetic structure. Even like for my channeling labs, they're driving me nuts. Because I've been telling people this too. I'm like, I feel like people need to go back to the basics. And I feel like people think they already know all the basics and they don't. And I feel like this is what I'm being called to teach as far as like, because it's not just about channeling, it's about clearing and creating space and learning to read energy. And then you really learn how to channel. You can't channel unless you do those foundational pieces.
Right. Absolutely. And I feel like right now we're in a time too where I think because a lot of the disclosures and a lot of the things that are happening and a lot of people's, like, I know for me, for sure, like my intuition and everything has been so heightened lately. I know I've told you this before, but it's like crazy. Like it's all over the place to the point where like, I'm just like thinking of somebody and then they walk in a room, or I see them later that day. The other night I had a dream. I actually always have this thing with my hairdresser. It's so funny. I see her, every couple months or whatever. And every time I go in, there's some weird, bizarre, like synchronicity between something in our lives. And we're all just like, oh, here's that thing again.
Yeah.
And then the other night I had a dream about her and I was like, oh, that was weird. And I woke up and it's her birthday. Her thing pops up. I never see her on Instagram. And just she happens to be on my stories, like in like one of the first things. I'm like, oh, that's weird. She was in my dream. Oh, it's her birthday today. So I'm like dreaming about her in her birthday, Yeah. So I feel like with all of this stuff happening, it's like we do, first of all, more people are tapping into this energy that they never have had access to before or have never known what it is before. And all of a sudden it's like we have access to another dimension that we didn't really have access to before, or some of us did or did a little bit, but now it's happening at a greater scale. And because of that, and I think a part of that's a piece of it, and the other piece of it is the constant overstimulation of our physical beings, of our nervous systems. Like who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody recently, and we were talking about, the battery storage facility that they might be building like around my neighborhood. And I was saying, I'm like, that hum alone would drive me absolutely nuts. And I just start to notice like how, like when the power goes out and it's just like the silence is insane. You're like, whoa, I didn't even know things could be this silent. Or you go camping, but even when you're camping, there's still like the crickets and like the, the like noises of the woods or whatever that you're in. But it's like, you just don't realize like how much noise, the noise from the lights, You know,
Yeah.
the fake incandescent, not incandescent, the other ones, the fluorescent lights, like, you know,
Yeah.
like all of these things, like the sounds, you know, like all of these things were so all over the place. And then we tap into some other dimension or tap into some other energy that we're like, what is
Mhm.
this? You know, that we don't know where we are sometimes
Yeah.
when we begin the day.
No. No, I think it, and I think you're right. Like, because I was even tuning into that today, is there's definitely going to be waves of people that are going to be like waking up spiritually. And this is what came up in the coaching with her too, that are going to need the foundational pieces. The thing with me is like, I don't like teaching beginners anymore, you know? So I think that's my
Yeah.
resistance is like,
Yeah.
ugh. But I'm so good at it, you know, like it
Yeah.
is,
Yes.
it's what I'm really good at doing. Um, like there's this level of confliction, I think, with a lot of things going on right now all around us, depending on who we are, you know,
Right.
and I think too, it's like this new energy coming in and it's combating with the old.
Right.
So like I'm used to
Absolutely.
like when people wake up that they're in this mind frame, but doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the new energy with the new people waking up. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
interesting.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like I feel like a
Mm,
lot of like what we're working through is to stop telling ourselves like these stories that we continue to like create from the old paradigm, because I feel like a lot of
yeah.
those stories don't exist anymore.
A lot of those stories
Mm,
still don't exist, and I feel
mhm,
like, um, it's almost like phantom limb syndrome.
mhm.
You know, when somebody like has a limb cut off or whatever, and they say they can still
Yeah.
feel it because there's still those like neural pathways and
Mhm,
connections to where they can sense, like they'll say they feel tingling or they feel heat or cold or
mhm,
something like that. It's almost like that where it's like this shadow, like phantom, you know, aspect. And I think that's
mhm.
what I've been going through a little bit this week too, because I'm like, I'm not PMSing. I don't have my period. Like, I don't like, why am I'm normally not this like all over the place
Mhm.
emotionally and mentally, like not unless it's to get a particular part of my cycle.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, what is this? And it kind of hit me today. I'm like, oh, this is sort of that like phantom limb syndrome
Mm,
of, oh, these are like, it's almost like not shadow aspects like our shadow part, but like, you
mm.
know, just like, oh, like it's like the old part that is just, you know, it's like, oh, hey, I'm not still
Yes.
here,
Yeah.
but I
Right.
was here,
Yeah. It's
you
the imprint.
know,
It's like that energetic
the
imprint of it.
imprint.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
I
I
can
feel
feel
like,
that going
mhm,
in and out. Yeah.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, and, I was actually in a podcast, earlier today with NG, our friend
Hmm.
NG.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that's gonna go out tomorrow, I think, on the Offer Oracle.
Hmm.
And, you know, she was talking about we were sort of, you know, just talking about, like, what's because she works with a lot of, like, corporate people, right? And
Hmm.
people who are just, like, in the grind, like, absolutely just pouring their life not pouring their life down the drain, but, like, kinda, because we all know,
Soul
like, it's not all
sucking.
about the money. Yeah,
Yeah.
soul sucking, like, they're just, like, kind of, like, wasting their existence and,
Hmm.
you know, doing this in this corporate world, yet they you know, we need to get to a point where we're not waiting for, like, some major destruction to happen in our lives until we actually do something different about
Hmm.
it. So I had asked, I'm like, "What's your advice to somebody who's, you know, sort of, like, at this part and, like, you know, starting to sort of feel this way?" And, you know, she had a great point of like coming back to stillness, like just remembering to come back to
Hmm.
stillness regularly and routinely and just like having those check-ins with yourself. And
Hmm.
I feel like for me, that's been really helpful and it's what I need to continue to do. And I feel like
Yeah.
I'm saying this out loud. So I remember to continue to do it too, of like just remember to keep making these like pockets of time for myself where I'm not because
Right.
like even right now I'm like, oh, I've talked back at the time, I should do my somatic practices for my program
Yeah.
I'm in, or you know, like I should do this meditation or I should do a pleasure practice, or you know, it's like even just filling the time with like the like good stuff that I'm like trying to do and get in like for me. But it's also still more doing.
Right.
So it's like, you know, working in more of the stillness to be able to like take a pulse of what that energy is
Hmm.
that's around, like that even we're like feeling or picking up on, and then be able to like come back to self, you know,
Hmm.
and disengage from some of the other like frenetic energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I'm going hiking tomorrow because my intention is to just get more clear on this next phase, you know, of
Yeah.
like what do people need energetic wise? And I'm seeing it in my private containers, but it's like what do I create group wise for these people? Because I feel like there's a big misunderstanding when it comes to creating that space and being able to hold that space. Like people don't realize the capacity that you need. So like even I know me and you are doing a lot of this inner child work, and I went to the beach the other day that I always go to in my spot. You know my spot I talk
Yeah,
about.
yes,
I
I
don't like to
do.
tell people where it is, but
I know. I
yeah,
ran into you randomly at your
yeah,
spot one time with
yeah.
my kids.
hmm
That was so funny.
And I was laying there and I'm like, oh my God, I am so much lighter
Mm,
than like, because I started getting flashbacks of when I first really started going to that spot. And it was about 3 years ago. And my energy was so heavy. And I remember
mm,
watching the waves crash, and at just like, that was after I closed my wellness center, and just like
yeah.
all this heaviness and this grief and this like feeling lost, and like not also my uncle was dying around that time. Like I left a relationship. There was a lot of grief and like heaviness.
Mm,
And I was watching the waves crash when I was sitting there the other day, and I'm like, huh, like I feel like I'm more free. Like I feel clear. I feel more myself. Like it's not this like over me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like when we're moving into the energy of July, because we talked about July a little bit, and I know a lot of
Yeah.
astrologers are talking about July. Like July is going to be a really big month, but I can't talk about what I got publicly. It was actually my friend that got it. But the big thing that I will say, and I'm trying to figure out how to say some stuff to prepare people for it, and what they were telling me this morning is the training wheels are off for humanity
Mhm.
starting in July. Like we've literally like had spirit and all these other beings, and the way humanity's been living, like it's funny because I've been seeing little kids riding bikes, and I feel like that's like how they put it in my head. I
Mhm.
saw some little kid at a park the other day with his dad, and he was teaching him how to like ride without the training wheels, and I feel like that's how that came through. And it's exciting. I remember when I my brother actually taught me how to ride a bike without my training wheels, and I remember like it was yesterday. It was so exciting because I'm like, yeah, now I can ride my bike on like the dirt paths, like with my brother and his friends, like, and,
Yeah.
and you just feel cooler
Like
too.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you like graduate a little bit. It's like another
yeah,
level of like maturity. Yeah.
right. And that's where humanity is going in July. We're going to have more responsibility. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, this is why we've been doing so much clearing for like, especially people like us for the last
Yeah.
like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like this intense shadow work and clearing because we don't want to take that heaviness into this energy that we're moving into in July.
Mhm.
And then I was thinking about the people who aren't doing the clearing, and what the vision they were showing me is it's going to be tough. It's going to feel like a lot of pressure for people that are still suppressing and holding on to things,
Mhm.
because we just can't keep doing things the same way anymore.
Yeah.
We can't. Collectively, we can't keep doing things the same way. Even
Yeah.
like me and you have been talking about our, like, how much have our personal businesses changed starting this year?
It's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
like, I'm just like, come on. And like, now I feel like I'm coming full circle back to kind of like how I started my business,
Yeah. Yeah. And too, like one thing that I'm thinking about is I feel like this time when you're going in teaching we'll say that not even the basics, but the foundations
The foundation. I
of
don't want to
of
call it
working with
basics.
energy. No, it's not
Yeah.
basics, but
hmm
like working with the foundations is that you're not working with it's not like you're training people to become energy healers for the first time and this is
Right.
like their first intro to everything. I
hmm
almost feel like for you, like you're really bringing like these foundations into other like still within almost like other industries but still in kind of like the health and wellness space too, but it's like
hmm
here's this missing piece that you didn't have and sort of like here's how it
Yes.
worked with what it is that you do and you're doing. So like, you're not working with beginners. Yeah, beginners with energy, but not beginners. You know what I mean? Because there's such a difference between, like, because I feel the same way with working with new entrepreneurs. Like, it would be very, like, I know, like, these are all the things, and there have been a couple people I've taken in over the last couple of years who, like, and they're in great shape because it's like expedited. It's like, oh, here, like these, just like, get these in place. And but it's boring. I find it very, very boring. I don't want to talk about the same shit all the time or go through the same things every time. Like, I need variety, for me personally anyway. Like, I need that variety. But it has been really interesting, and I know we've seen this in our private containers too, as well as our own, is also this whole, like, I'm all right. I have these dates that I thought this offer was going to happen and this program was going to start. And it's like, nope.
Yep.
That's not happening. You're like, shit, I don't want to look like a flake. I don't want to look like, oh, are people going to think it's because nobody has signed up or this and that? It's like, no, like there are just so many things are just changing and shifting so fast.
It's so insane.
It is. Yeah. So, and with that being said, I think that's even more like why we can't wait on things either.
Right.
So like, even like even if like a new channeling lab idea comes in, instead of like, oh, this will be July or something like that, it's like, maybe that needs to happen immediately. Like,
I need to squeeze it in. I'm gonna have to that's what I was thinking, because I keep getting the inner child channeling lab, and I'm in the inner child, like, I'm really working through it. So I'm like, oh, this will be perfect. It's because it's not like I've never done inner child work.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is like
exactly.
20th round of doing it. So,
right.
That's what I was thinking, because I pushed my visibility lab out until July. I'm like, fuck this. I'm just gonna roll out the next channeling lab within the 2 weeks. Because I'll be transparent, no one signed up for my visions lab, but I haven't been fully on it. I'm like, I'm like, I know this needs to be taught, but there's something missing. And I keep going back to these foundational pieces. Like, I feel like I need to do a whole channeling lab on gritting energy. Gritting and anchoring energy. Like, that is my thing. That's like, I was doing it with Valerie yesterday. I was teaching her how to grid in a private session. And then we did a whole bunch of healing work in that space. People need to learn how to hold that space. So I think I need to do like a lab on that too within the next few weeks, and just start pumping them out. Because that's the thing, is like, I'm like, no, because you can't. Like, you gotta, like, because I'm going.
You need time to warm up your audience, and then I gotta do these and this and this and this. Right. Those are the stories again too, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's just like, no, this shit needs to come out now. Like, people need to be doing their inner child work now before July, like, or at least while we're in July. Like, get rid of as much as that fucking baggage as you can.
Right.
Because you don't, like, I keep seeing like wrestling moves being done on people that hold heavy energy. Like, I kept seeing, like, what a clothesline is, because your kids watch wrestling, right? So like, people just walking and like, boom, getting clothesline, because they're holding on and suppressing so much that with this energy shifting, like, the universe is either going to be like, no, you can't carry that, or it's just going to conflict with
what you're trying to do and bring in.
What they're trying to do. Like, and you know what else came in too? I feel like a lot of people's higher selves are trying to integrate in, not just us, because that's what we've been working on in our container. I feel like this is a very collective thing right now. And remember, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I mentioned in the accelerator, I tried to move my higher self in, and it caused a disruption. Like, I felt very disrupted the whole day. And I'm like, oh, it's because I don't have space. Like, when I went in again, I was like, she doesn't have room to fit. So I feel like, because the training wheels are coming off, everyone's higher self is coming in closer, and it's going to try to get in. And if it can't get in, it's going to disrupt. It's going to
That's such a great visual. That's such a great visual of what's happening, because I totally feel that too. And I feel that because I am such a firm believer in like feng shui and our physical spaces be being reflections of our, outer spaces, and vice versa. And I feel that way too, even with like, I did that big full moon clearing 2 full moons ago, cleaned out my office, burned like, what was it, like 6 years of journals or 7 years of journals or something like that. And like all of this, but then I moved in my office, I moved everything into the middle so I could start painting and like make everything nice. And this is where I've been. Like, I feel like I've been squished, and it feels like that those new things want to drop in and come in, but they can't, because there's no space like in this physical, like in my physical space, like there's not space for it to come in. So I enlisted my dad to come and paint my office for me.
Nice.
So he started yesterday.
That's awesome though.
It is. Yeah.
That's the other thing too, is like, we need to learn to ask for help.
Yeah.
We can't be embarrassed and ashamed by like, just like, I need help. Like, this is too much.
Right.
And
exactly.
because that's a part of like building the new earth and this new paradigm is us helping each other. It's the co-creation piece.
Right.
And like like the other conversation I was having with another client, I think this was yesterday, is like, in the spiritual community, we even talked about this. It's like the constant cycling into the victim stuff. Well, what is it? It's because we're not diving, a lot of in the community isn't focused on diving deep enough into the patterns. It's just more hyper focused at times on like, oh, this is how I am, and the wounding, and kind of staying there. And it's going deeper into the patterns to really heal and clear things. And what we're feeling is like this, like the victim isn't gonna do very well in this new energy. It's just not. And I know Pam Gregory is also talking a lot about that in her astrology, is like June this month is a lot about clearing the victim, but it keeps coming up within the spiritual community. Like, why is there so much victim energy? And it's just looping in the same patterns. And I was like, it really feels like we just need to start clearing our shit, letting it go, getting to the bottom of things. We don't have time to be looping, because we need to be co-creating with the divine and each other.
Right.
And we can't be co-creating if we're like here in the victim shit, and that's so old paradigm, is like wearing your wounds and, constantly having to do healing work to heal, when it's just, let's just get to the bottom of what's going on. Great. I don't want to be here anymore. Just, it really is about deciding now, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, this isn't serving me. This isn't helping me. Cool. Let's shift that. And then going into the co-creation piece. And then when you need to go back to the healing, going back into the healing, digging deeper, boom, going into the co-creation piece. Because I feel like that, so much of that energy is taking away from the creation.
Yes, 100%. And by design.
Right.
By design. Like, that's like, that's really like is our job right now, right? Is to get more people into that co-creation zone.
Yes.
Like, to get people, into out of that victimhood, out of that, that just like the lower vibration energies, and the, the and it's hard. Like, it is really hard right now, because there's a lot happening, obviously. And I feel like we need to keep expanding those moments when we get the glimpses of that, whatever you want to call it, new earth energy or whatever, just like more of that euphoric, like self, like that higher self, authentic self, like energy and frequency, and like really expanding it. Because I know for me, like one of my patterns is always, and I feel like this is probably typical for a lot of people and a lot of women especially, but it's almost like something good will come in, or like I'll have a glimpse and like things are going, or like, I'll get a bunch of new clients or something like that. And then, and then I kind of like fall back, and then like, oh, well, it's not enough. Okay, well, this is fine right now, but then what about next month? Or, you know what I mean? And then, so it's never like, oh, really expanding, like, oh, this actually feels really good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what it can feel like to have this much ease. Oh, this is what it can feel like. And this is where I am battling right now, is I'm in this part of my transition of having just closed my group coaching program in May, not abruptly, but swiftly. It was like, oh, this has to happen. This is happening. Okay. And then I went on vacation, I came back, and, I talk about how like it felt like leaving an old job, and like, I come back, and it's like, I don't have those old problems anymore. And it felt so good. And I had all this clear time on my schedule and stuff. And then I get into working and doing the other things that I'm doing, with building the other things I'm building right now. And then I almost like get that fear of like, oh, well, I really like having all this free time. I really like having all this space. I don't really want to be working. I don't really want to be doing these things, and kind of like going back. And then I get like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, get that momentum again, or that urge, or that spark, or like, have a client session or something. And I'm like lit up all over again too, So it's like going through that cycle. And I don't even know, I went on a total tangent with that. I don't remember what I was talking about, but just like really expanding that, like when those good things are coming in, and not getting like, even when those like old, even like we were talking about before, those old like imprints start to arise, not to fall back fully into it, but like to have that awareness and then move forward.
Yeah. And I was saying to someone the other day, I remember when I was making like consistent 20K months and I didn't think it was good enough. now I look back and I'm like, you dumb bitch. Like,
Yep. I mean, they've said, people have said so much, right, about how like millionaires have the same money mindset problem and everything else, that you can have millions of dollars and still be in that same mentality.
And it's a lack mentality. Mentality.
Anilka, and I'm sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Anilka, yes, I'm a new mom of 2 and kept noticing how often I was playing the victim until I said, no more, time to shift the perspective. I love that.
We all do. Like, even doing this inner child work, I'm like connecting with my 14-year-old, no, my 16, because I was listening to someone talk about their 14, my 16-year-old self, my 8, like victim, and I'm like, no, like we need to heal this. We need to clear this. We need to move through this. We can't keep and like enabling this energy, that's within us. It's clearing the patterns and moving forward. Like, I literally went into the astral the other day and I had to have a conversation with my 16-year-old self because she's so stubborn. And I'm like, we're not doing this anymore. like what you do is awesome. Like, your future is amazing. You literally get to be yourself. Everything that you're like complaining about that people don't like you for is literally your creme de la creme in the future. Get over it, Yeah.
Yep. It's literally reparenting ourselves.
Yeah.
It literally is like over and over and over again. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, we've been chatting for like a half hour here. This is fun. Well, we are going to be doing this probably every couple weeks or so. We'll be hopping on here live and chatting. Definitely if anybody's joining here too, like go to the New Paradigm Leadership Network, join us over on there. You could be a free subscriber or paid subscriber. For our paid subscribers, there's a fly down here. We hold a monthly New Paradigm Leadership Network circle every month. So our next one is next Thursday, the 25th. Yep. At 7:30 PM, I think. And we are going to come together and have a lot of these conversations. It's a little bit of networking. It's a little bit of energy work too. We really like to do like world peace meditations together and really do some of that grid work and that anchoring work, bringing the light into the planet and really just connecting with each other and having more of these conversations, because, this is really what we need to be doing and figuring out like, how can we move forward and what do we need to do to move forward? Because especially with July happening, everything energetically, July and August, because I think early August, like I think that full moon is, there's like supposed to be something really like intense around that too. But, all the astrologers,
the summer is just going to be like big shifts for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And a lot of things changing, and we need to just be as present as we can for all of it to see where we need to direct our energy, our resources, where we need to be, coming together, because we're going to be seeing this change a lot more in a really big way. And, one of the things that's been coming up a lot for me too, I'm so big on like the environment stuff and like the toxins and all of that. Actually, I didn't get to tell you. I got my HTMA results back from the test that I did with Dee Davidson. I had my session with Dee. I learned so much. Yeah, and one of the things that I had learned was that I guess I'm a slow detoxer. So like my body just is naturally like detoxes slowly, which is why I've had all these hormonal issues because my liver's congested because it's because of heavy metals. But remember, I was like, I knew I needed to do a heavy metal detox, the heavy metals and everything else. And when I was talking to her, like looking at the results, she's like, any like thoughts on where like these heavy metals might be coming from? I'm like, well, I live near an airport and there are planes flying all over the place and, they're always spraying and this and that. And, and it gets me thinking all the time. I'm like, we got to get these people to stop fucking up our shit, like,
yeah.
Like,
and
I feel like
really the only way is the co-creation piece.
Yeah.
It's us coming together and creating the new. I feel like that's really what's going to push out what is causing a lot of disruption on the planet.
Yep.
And there will be some people that are here on the planet for some vigilante justice, but I feel like our role is to hold the line energetically,
I don't know. You have combat boots, don't you?
Oh, I do. But listen, I'm not in this lifetime, man. I've got myself in so much trouble in other lifetimes. Nope. I am here for the energetics in this lifetime. I have to remind myself that some days.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming to our first ever live. This was so fun. So
and Substack is cool because now we can alert you guys. Like, I didn't realize like you could send out an email. Yeah. Like we can send out notifications. Can't do that stuff with Facebook and Instagram. So I really like this.
Yeah. This is great.
The chat is right here. It's not over the screen. Like on Instagram, I can't see like what people are saying.
Yep. And it's just clean. Like we're able to get on and come on before instead of like 10 minutes of like, hold on, I'm just trying to bring Ashley on, texting, restarting it 6 times because we won't come on. Oh my God.
Losing the live stream.
That's the saddest.
Yeah.
That's the saddest.
We've lost 2 live streams?
2.
And then I lost one with Amy a few weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah. Nope. New paradigm, online marketing, Substack. All right. See you guys all soon.
Bye.
Bye.